out there holding self-defense is not a crime signs. Weird, because the mob wasn't so sympathetic to Daniel Penny, Kyle Rittenhouse, the cop who was forced to shoot Michael Brown. Why is that? Is it because of race? By the way, Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be joining us in a few seconds to talk about what it's like to be targeted and in the crosshairs of the mob himself. This is the blind racial allegiance in this nation. Those three I just mentioned were, by the mob standard, guilty until proven innocent. And after they were proven innocent, the mob still thought they were guilty. But Karmelo Anthony is apparently, by the same mob, innocent until proven guilty. And even after he's proven guilty, they say he's innocent. They're screaming at the cops for simply guarding the courthouse.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. What the you need to be ashamed. You need to be ashamed. Because that's one of y'all that was in there. But you're not going to give a just at your front door.
Pure class. I mean, just humor me for a second. What should those cops do? Like, if you're that lady in the front screaming at them, like, what does it look like if the mob gets theirs? What's justice to them? Should they just, like, break into the jail and take him out and let Karmelo Anthony walk free? I mean, that's not justice. Remember when we told you that they were trying to get ahead of the almost certain guilty verdict, though? They tried to make it about race, justify, basically calling this an illegitimate ruling before it even came down. Could you imagine a white person claiming they can't get a fair trial with a black jury? That's what happened in reverse in the Karmelo Anthony case. The mob is now decrying the fact that there's no black people on the jury, and therefore he won't somehow get a fair trial. This is the reason race relations continue to plummet in America, by the way. See, there are powers involved here that don't actually care about Anthony. Look, there are people, let's be honest, like the Southern Poverty Law Center, that need a case like this to create the perception that there is some sort of race divide in this nation, of which there is far less of than there actually is being sold. This is the racial grift. This should never have been about race. This should have been about one kid stabbing another kid. Because if it was really about caring about young black people, like the mob claims to do, they'd be protesting the fact that black people kill other black people at a rate almost 20 times higher than white people kill black people. And in this case, a white guy didn't murder anyone. He was the one who got murdered, and yet the mob is making the murderer out to be the victim based on race. I mean, get real. Honestly, exactly what led. That mentality is exactly what led to this confrontation in the first place. There's this massive movement in this country to create a racial divide because it's profitable and grants people like Al Sharpton a platform. It's actually sick.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.